Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. Back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Talk about this so-called TikTok ban, man, and just how it relates to prophecy, but mostly I always through the spirit like to see or just how people respond to certain things that happen, especially here in Babylon. So there's just this one part of this news clip that I want to play where this guy is expressing how he feels about this coming, possible ban on this social media app. But of course, the reason why we bring this out, it's all related to prophecy. They banned TikTok, was they'll start banning other platforms, and the men of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, we use these apps through the spirit to push the word. So ultimately we know that it's their goal to really stop the word from going out, and it's all done by the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. A famine of the word, all right, has already been prophesied. So whenever the Lord will, he's going to put it in the hearts of man to put a stop to the prophets somehow or some way, whether it's banning the whole these platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, etc., and some of the little lesser known apps or platforms that the brothers use, or persecution that's been prophesied will bring these precepts out. So, or combination of all these things, just in order to stop the word of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai from going out. Well, little do they know or realize, it's already pretty much done at this point, thanks to, brothers being diligent and receptive to the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. But I'll let this play and we'll talk about it.
Through because he believes there will always be another app like it ready to take its place.
It's popular, but I don't feel like it's that high of a priority. I don't know if all of our data is going to be that safe anyways.
And some add that the app just isn't for fun, it's their business.
Who's this guy coming up?
Not only 5 million small businesses rely on it, but 170 million people rely on this app for more than just their livelihood. They rely on this app for their mental health. They've connected with people.
Bingo. First of all, did you hear the level of passion, emotion that man was showing concerning the loss of his app, okay, or this app? Well, he mentioned, people's livelihood depends on, this app. And that's all when a servant of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai hears that, we immediately think about the MOTB and how we see that people are very dependent on the enemy. All right. Now, part of our curses was, I'll bring it out, the curses upon the Israelites, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, and in hunger and thirst and in nakedness, and here's the point, and in want of all things. All right, so we've been dealing with that for quite some time now, having to depend on our enemy through the spirit and power Yahweh Bashem Shai, as you see, because the Lord is the one that put these enemies over us. All right, we have to go to them, essentially for the want of all things, whatever we needed, man, food, clothing, shelter, etc., etc., etc. Now, again, you check the temperature of the earth, all right, the people, and you see how fragile they are concerning, these certain apps or whatever it is that provides them with stability, all right? It could be an app, it could be their job, their careers, their pensions, whatever. The point is when the shit hits the fan, they're going to come in with their MOTB, and you already see that most people are dependent on, the government, the rulers of the earth. All right, most people don't have I say like this, as far as like the internet goes and those type of businesses that predominantly use the internet to run their business. All right, A lot of people are so-called entrepreneurs in that regard, but most of the people work for, these mega Walmarts, people that work from home for these major companies, Apple, etc. I mean, that's not entrepreneurial stuff. You're working for, the enemy. And then for you people out there that think that y'all are entrepreneurs, they're just gonna apply so much pressure that, yeah, you're gonna have to depend on them, all right, to keep your livelihood up, man. All right. And we're prophesying a chaos, and combined with that chaos, blackout, the internet being cut off. What are all these people going to do when the internet cuts off? Not just a freaking social media platform. Again, look at the amount of passion. I'll run it back.
But 170 million people rely on this app for more than just their livelihood. They rely on this app for their mental health.
Yep, that was another point. I mean, I say people rely on this app, not necessarily the app, the internet, period. All right. The ability to communicate with other people, whether it's in a good way or bad way, and for 2/3, man, and the majority of the people, it's always, rooted in vanity and negativity, and just a whole bunch of foolishness, all right, that people use the internet for. But the internet as a whole, people need it, especially women, for their mental health. All right. They need that validation. They need that communication. They need that interaction. Women need that validation from men and other women that they're beautiful, that their bodies look nice. Well, all right. You see, all right, things are changing. And that's the whole spirit that we have upon us, is to prepare for change, man. All right. Now, we know a prophecy is what's going to bring that change. Now, people don't want to admit, all right, or acknowledge prophecy in the Bible. But hey, make no mistake about it. If you're a person living on this earth, you should be wise enough to know and understand that change can and will happen. All right. That's all we're saying. Hey, the mark of the beast, it's simply a change. If you look at it that simply, all right. That's all. That there's going to be a change. We're going to go from, this type of currency to the next, which is be a digital currency. And they need a way to facilitate that for the billions of people upon the earth, man. All right. And we've been, again, instructed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Haoshai not to take that MOTB, man. All right. But again, the whole kind of point of it was checking the temperature of the people, man. All right, because let's get to these precepts. Let's go to Daniel and bring out the points. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25. And it reads, and he, talking about the enemy and their counterparts, the government, all right, your governors and everybody, all right, he shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And here's the point. And think to change times and law. So this whole ban of TikTok, all right, that's them implementing a certain, type of law. All right. So that's the whole major thing that I try to convey through the spirit to prepare our people for is the change, and the fact that whatever is set in play, don't have faith in that, because they're just going to change it. Yeah, they got this constitution, whatever. First of all, they don't even honor their own constitution. All right. But whatever law is set in place already, if it doesn't fit their agenda, they're just going to change it. And we definitely know who the true target is. If they were so righteous and so concerned about, whatever reason they're saying they're banning TikTok, look at all the debauchery that is, on the internet. They are calling us all types of names and giving us all type of labels, but there's nothing but filth that comes from the internet, for the most part. Here we are just simply speaking the truth, and and they deem us like we're the ones on internet with all that poison and garbage. You know what I mean? All right, but again, he's just going to seek, all right, to change times and laws, man. So yeah, we were at a certain time, the spirit of Babylon the Great had a certain spirit on it at certain times. World War II, during the Vietnam era, but definitely World War II, man. How men would sign themselves up and have the spirit to go fight for their country, man. Well, now the times have changed because they've by design have weakened the men here in Babylon the Great and have the women thinking that they're men. So nobody really wants to fight for this country. It's jacked up, and the people actually know that now. Now they're settled on their leads, and once the enemy takes away the pleasure, it's going to get very, very hectic out here. But you should just see the spirit that's on this man, see that he's wicked. And again, I can't stress enough, man, they're just going to change the law. It's very important that this, in Daniel 7 and 25, man, it's very, very important to receive that. The fact that the man is just going to change the law, man. All right. Doesn't matter about the amendments and constitutional rights and all that. It doesn't matter. It's all going to go out the door. Hey, martial law, they have to, change certain laws or implement certain laws. All right, to facilitate what we call, or what they call, martial law or police state. We've have experienced this already. Look at the crack era, the batter ram. All right, when it was coming through with military machinery, knocking down people's doors, man. All right, that was a particular law, that the three strikes law. You see what I'm saying? That wasn't always a thing. That's something that's a law that they made. You see what I'm saying? And now, a bunch of our men are locked up because of that three strikes rule, man. All right, you see what I'm saying? All right, let's go on though with these precepts. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Is it Ecclesiastes? Let's go. Let me see. Ecclesiastes. Nope. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So this is, a written to the Hebrew Israelites by the Hebrew Israelites. So this is for us. All right. And starting with the men. That's why it says my son. All right. So we have to know that as servants of the Lord, man. When we come into this thing, put our hand to the plow, accept the information given to us. All right. And act on that information. We have to prepare our soul for temptation. That is to say, prepare our soul to for persecution. All right, to not be liked. All right, to have people not necessarily agree with us, man. All right, the Lord had taught us these things. He told us that the people were gonna hate us, and I'm gonna bring that out. And such, man. So we have to remember that to prepare our soul for temptation, man. We got to understand that serving the Lord, yeah, and especially once we get out of here, it's gonna be all good. But serving the Lord, there's a balance to it. You're gonna receive good and bad. All right, and we can't forget that the Lord is going to chastise us. He's going to judge us if we are doing wrong. All right, but for our sakes, hopefully, the things that we go through, it's for our salvation. All right, for everyone else, it's just simply for their humility. Okay, but let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. And it reads, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman and child, and they shall not escape. This is the whole theme of time. All right. Especially as it relates to the Bible. People are always in one spirit, and then something happens and then they're in another. Look at the whole TikTok thing. Hey, if it's peace and safety one day, it's all good. Hey, I can, have my social media business one day, and then we're prophesying a sudden destruction is coming. All right, the great tribulation is going to be like sudden destruction to the people who aren't watching and waiting for it. See, we're waiting for, something to pop off. We're waiting for something to happen. 2/3 of the nation of Israel aren't. They're settled on their leads. They're comfortable. So they're in a state, all right, whether their lives are picture perfect or not, overall, they're in a state of feeling peace and safety, whether they're in the projects, have a good night in a prison cell because it's dangerous up in there. But, they pretty much know how they gonna go for the most part. All right. So everybody, whether they're rich or poor, free bond of our nation, have ultimately a spirit of peace and safety if they're not hearkening, the day of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, if they don't desire, salvation. Okay. And it says they're not going to be able to escape, man. All right, that means, I mean, the Lord is not going to be with them, because the Lord promised, his servants were going to escape these things. That's why the Lord taught us to pray and watch, that we may be worthy to escape all these things that shall come upon the earth, man. The 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're not prepared, they're not built up, they don't have a rapport with Yahweh Bahashem and Hawashai. The Lord don't know them. He knows of them, make no mistake about it. All right, but you know what I mean. All right, through the Spirit, the Lord don't know them. All right, and they'll claim like they friends of Yahweh Bahashem and Hawashai, or servants of Yahweh Bahashem and Hawashai, but they're not doing things, to make their calling and election sure. The men that claiming that 2/3, they're not teaching. All right, they're not putting off that old man. Hell, they're just saying I believe in God, and still for the most part doing the same things that they were doing in the world, man. All right. Second Ezra's time, you already know. Second Ezra's chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe, destruction to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. All right, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. We bring this out a lot. I bring this out a lot through the Spirit, because, hey, man, that's exactly what's going to happen. And a lot of that, not regarding their princes, or to say the government, the leaders, the leadership. All right, a lot of that behavior is going to affect the people of the other nations. You see, as Israelites, even though we're in like a balling mentality, overall, like, we still understand what it's like to suffer. Esau, I mean, a lot of his people don't. So they're not going to be prepared for this at all. Even our people are going to freak out and do the same thing, but we're still more prepared overall. Just the spirit, the remnant of the spirit of them remembering who we are and the hardships that we went through. It's still in those wicked Israelites. Make no mistake about it. All right. We know about hardship, our spirit. That's why I say the Spirit bears with us that we're, the children of Yahweh Ba'ashem and Hawashai, right? But man, these people not ready for nothing, no drastic change like that. And it's about to be drastic changes, man. Draconian like measures set in place, man. You can't do this. You got to be in the house at a certain time. You can't use the internet. And don't let, the real calamity start falling upon the earth, which we are prophesying is going to happen. There'll be storms, earthquakes in diverse places. There'll be pestilences, diseases overtaking people. All right. The whole financial system is gonna crash on out, man. All these issues are gonna pop up around the same time. That's why we're supposed to be, storing up our treasures in heavens, practicing, if you will, for this great tribulation, praying and fasting, and utilizing those benefits that's come with praying and fasting, getting rid of those demons, and experiencing how and what it's like to have a spirit upon you and be able to be delivered from that. So you have this experience. Also fasting, just experiencing what it's like to be hungry for a few days, a day or two, a couple of hours. A lot of people here in Babylon the Great never really experiencing that. They're definitely overindulging here in Babylon the Great, man. So when this happens, all right, and they change the laws to some jankiness, the people are not going to be prepared. They're either going to rebel or they're going to bow down, take that MOTB, one way or the other. All right, we're going to serve Yahweh Shem Hawashai. So of course we're rebelling against it, but we're rebelling to serve Yahweh Shem Hawashai. They're just going to rebel, in hopes in their own power and their own might. Some people may claim, they're doing it for, God and Jeebus, but of course we know through studying in the spirit that's not going to cut it in that day. And the Lord is not going to, he's going to save who he's going to want to save. And if, but he, through the spirit, we believe he gave us, the names that he wanted us to, address them as Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. So we're going to utilize those names and utilize that strong tower in that day, because we do know the name of the Lord is a strong tower. All right. And we're going to run to that. We're going to, have faith and again, that's what this time is for. See, brothers and sisters that's already in this thing through the spirit, we have utilized these names. We have seen and can testify of serving in the name Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that they're real, all right, and that these are their names given to us through the Spirit. Okay, Yahweh, what Yahweh Shai. We utilize these names in our prayers. All right, we go out on the highways and byways, or the internet highways and byways, and we profess, all right, and confess these names, man. And we understand, the Lord is balanced, and that bad things are gonna happen, to us. Persecution is coming, but overall, nothing but good things have happened with us serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. Now again, the rest of the people, they don't really believe in those names. The Lord didn't give it to them. Okay. So they're not going to be covered when this happens, man. So yeah, again, some are going to rebel. A lot of them are going to bow down. And as the more pressure gets applied up until the point where they seek to take people's lives for not taking that MOTB, well, a lot of people are going to bow down. That we're having a sort of rebellious spirit against wickedness. Okay. They're going to bow down. They're going to get exposed. All right. But we know what's going on, man. So when we see it, we should have a certain level of confidence. I'm sure there's going to be some fearful things that we're going to experience, but overall, we have said this, and if you're not a teacher, you listen to this every day. The men talking about these things that's going to happen. The MOTB, the persecution, the chaos, all right, the storms, the pestilences, all right, the false accusations, all these things you hear us saying through the Spirit. So when it happens in real time, we ought to be prepared for the most part, man, and be able to go right on through that. Okay. Let's go to John. Well, let's go to Matthew. Matthew 10, verse 22. And it reads, "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved." So we got to remember that that's coming. All right. When we say, hey, we're not doing this, and they hate us now for telling the truth, well, we got to remember Yahweh Shai, and remember what he taught. All right. Remember, how the people treated him, for the most part. They hated Yahweh Shai, everyone that wasn't his. All right. Everyone. It said all men. You know what I mean? So that's everyone that isn't a servant of the Lord. And you best believe you ain't seen nothing yet. Once, because there's going to be a spiritual shift, man. The Lord is going to, put a certain spirit on, the wicked to really show and prove their wickedness, man, during that time of great tribulation, man. And I'm talking about your family members, specifically, more than anybody. The ones that ain't really flipped out yet, but they, true in your heart that they really wasn't hearkening into prophecy. They really didn't receive that there was Israelites, didn't receive the names Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. You just wait. It's all good now. Why? Because for the most part, they're at peace and safety. All right. Once the peace goes and they can't, chill on the weekend or whatever, or they don't feel safe, food insecurity is here, et cetera, et cetera. Well, then you're going to see, that they're going to hate us. All right. For a bunch of reasons, man. We always say brothers maybe all in the news and shit talking about we're domestic terrorists, man. All right. And everybody, if you believe in the Bible and you got a spirit upon you that say that MOTB isn't right, you'll be right along, categorized as a terrorist. All right, come on, we all know this. The cat's out the bag, bro. We already know that's what they want to deem us as, treason and terrorist. You know what I mean? We know that's what it is. That's what's coming. We're domestic terrorists to them at this point. So we got to prepare that and remember, all right, that this is a part of the program, man. This is the easy part for the most part. Coming out the world is a little tricky, through the Spirit. But if you one of the Lord's chosen, you're gonna do it, right? Coming out the world, making adjustments with yourself. But overall, man, all we had to do was just talk. Essentially that's all we're doing. When it comes to the teaching aspect of the work, we're really just talking. I mean, it's the truth, man. Now we're talking through the Spirit, all right, and there's a whole lot of power behind that, but we haven't got to the necessarily, what we're prophesying. we're able to go and get our food on a daily basis, or get in our car and just go for a drive, or walk in the park. All these things are going to be an issue during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. So it's always easier said than done. But again, that's why we do things through the Spirit, and we build this rapport now. All right, we serve the Lord now and later. A lot of our people going to try to act like they're so righteous, and they want to, be friends of Yahushua, and that day it'll be too late. All right, it's just the only thing that's going to come during this time of great tribulation is drama, drama, and drama. And if you're not protected, all right, you're going to get caught up in that. That's it. And the drama not going to stop until the kingdom is established, and you'll see it. All right, trust me, you're going to know when Yahushua gets back. Make no mistake about it. And you're going to know who his family is. All right, you're going to know who his brothers and sisters are in that day, man. All right, when you see the protection, and ultimately when you see us changed, man, and receive those glorious, glorified, perfect bodies. All right, that is our goal, is to get the ultimate pardon and receive salvation, so we can live like how we supposed to live. The Lord is not a man that he shall lie. He promised our forefathers, eternity, a kingdom, and Lord willing, we the descendants, of the ones that the Lord made the promise to, man. All right, and we've woken up in these last days to receive that information, that knowledge. All right, and now we're utilizing it to the best of our ability. All right. Matthew. Matthew 5 and 11. And I'll leave it at this. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for who? My name's sake. So again, I'm just reiterating the point about the coming persecution, and seeing the TikTok ban. You can see the beginning stages of that. They're trying to really get rid of the truth, man, because they're nervous. They don't like the fact that we've came back to this knowledge, because they know that their time is running short. And I'm referring to the enemy. Okay, the enemy of the Hebrew Israelites, Esau, Edom. All right, they don't like that, so they're gonna do all these things covertly. Oh yeah, we're banning it because of security reasons. Basically that's what they're saying. It's a security risk. Yeah, whatever, dude. If that's the case, then y'all gonna have to get rid of the internet, period, aren't they? If that's, you know what I mean. People don't, man, please, ain't nothing but a whole bunch of, like, if the real information, is on little platforms, little sites, man. They don't use TikTok for no deep information. Trust me, there's just a bunch of BS going on TikTok for the most part. So they're lying. They're really trying to get to this truth. They're trying to stop the truth from going out. But I mean, the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to be accomplished anyway. All right. So again, just reiterating the point, just prepare and remember, what you're a part of. There's good and bad right now. Eventually it's going to get all good for us when it's all over. But persecution is coming, and this TikTok ban is the beginning stages of it. So I leave it at that through the Spirit. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear again to Yahweh Bahashem and Hawashah. Until next time, Shalom.